It's the NFL on EA Sports.
And we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the Denver Broncos and the New York Jets.
And it's coming up next.
Well, Bronco fans were out and shouting J-E-T-S Jets well before the gates opened here. And now they fill the stands of MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Hi there, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. You picked a fun one to tune into. I'm Kate Scott, joined by former NFL quarterback Brock Huard. And we've got two quarterbacks here, Brock, who are known for playing a very exciting brand of football. Not just throwing the rock, but taking it themselves, too.
Yep, these are two of the guys who really epitomize the direction that this position's going in the modern NFL.
Yep.
Pocket passers, they'll have their place. They always will. But a lot of teams look to somebody like this as a default. A great passer, but someone who can also mix in plenty of rushing yards and keep that defense honest.
To kick off, here's Will Lutz. And away we go from East Rutherford. On the return, here comes Kene Wangu. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So the Jets take the field for their first drive. And bringing them out, an electrifying runner and a former first-round pick back in 2021, Justin Fields.
There's still lots of people around the NFL that believe that Justin Fields' best football's in front of major believers of him as an upper-tier quarterback. And the reason why, Kate, is he's got physical traits that are just unique and different. He can run it like a running back, and he can spin a football as well. In fact, that running ability is some of the best in the game. But just continuing to build and refine his game as a passer between the tackles, that will be the key to the longevity of his career.
Taylor makes the catch. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Here's Breece Hall on the ground for the first time. He gets it ahead, winds up with about 3. John Franklin Myers coming in to clean things up. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
The give on second to Hall. And he drives it up past the 45. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to leave him with 3rd and 3.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
Fields now on 3rd. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll be brought down after getting it to the 47-yard line. A 7-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
Shotgun snap, a give to Hall. And they make the stop, we're going to say, at about the 37-yard line.
Even though that run did not net them a first down, I can promise you this, Kate. I promise you. I know how it works. They're going to circle that one. They're going to remember that one. And when they need some key yards on the ground, they'll come back to that call later.
In a good spot here, 2nd and inches. They go right back to Hall. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you wanted to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No third down required now.
Opening drive going according to plan. This is 1st and 10 at the 36. Fields out of the gun. He won't be able to make the catch. It's incomplete.
You feeling lucky? Well, do you? Well, he should, because the quarterback got away with one right there. That was an easy pick dropped by the defense.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Shotgun snap to Fields. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. Third down coming up.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense. And now, well, now we let the chess match begin. The adjustments begin because we know pressure leads to sacks. And sacks in this league often leads to wins.
Broncos bringing out an extra DB. Third down coming up. Fields throwing here. Dump off caught by his back. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Not terribly complicated on this one. Just not the third down screen you wanted to run. Little chance they were getting the first, and apparently little chance they were going to even gain a positive yard at all.
Fourth down punt upcoming, Brock, and here's Austin McNamara to put his leg into it. So we'll see the Broncos offense now for the first time. They'll be led out by the former first-rounder out of both Oregon and Auburn. It's Bo Nix.
Bo Nix entered this league as a grown-up. 61 college starts will do that for you. A ton of college experience. And Bo Nix is a facilitator. When he is at his best, that ball is in and out of his hands in an absolute hurry. If he were a point guard on a basketball team, he'd want to go up and down the court and get it out of his hands as quickly as he can. He's accurate, he's tough, he's experienced, and he's poised for this challenge of the NFL.
They'll throw. First play with Nix. As a man, that's Cortland Sutton. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it's stopped. They get 13 on the pickup. And the Broncos will have a first down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only one? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Nix off the play action. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And he runs out of bounds at the opposing 45. It's a gain of 22. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
Ball on the 45, first and 10. Play action with Nix. Escapes the pocket. He can run it. Decent yardage picked up here before he slides down to avoid the tackle.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
2nd and 3. And someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Sisco. Not the auspicious debut they'd certainly hoped for on that opening drive. The coverage, impressive, taking their first possession away with that interception.
It is tough to play a clean game in this league. The caliber defenders are awesome. You just hope that eventual missteps happen at a less meaningful moment than your opening series. You don't want to make it any harder to get your rhythm and get your passing game going.
The second drive coming up now for the Jets offense. And they're certainly hoping for some better results here after that first drive ended in a punt. First and 10 now from the 30. They start the drive with Hall. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Call it 9 yards. Looked like a first for a moment. It's 2nd and 1.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Out of the shotgun, Fields has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. It's a meager 2-yard gain, but that's enough to award them the first down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on second down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about third down at all.
On first down, here comes Hall. Runs into traffic and hits a wall, no gain. John Franklin Myers coming in to clean things up. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
Where one defender failed, well, his buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Here's Fields to throw. That's complete to Wilson. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. Pickup of 12 on that play. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
Escapes out to the left. Now here he goes. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. He's on the move. And the ground game works for the touchdown. The Jets parlay the interception into points. It's a Justin Fields touchdown. Wow, great work there by the quarterback. The play broke down, didn't really have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise, and in the end, Brock, the best call he could have made.
Yeah, and you can do it in different ways in today's NFL, right? The Tom Brady's just recently retired. He did it with his brain. He did it with his mind, but you've got to be able to improvise, as you said. You got to be able to create when a play breaks down, and when you can put 6 on the board, man, does that infuse your offensive group with confidence.
That one splits the uprights. And the Jets will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Mevis ready to send this one away. This one's fielded at the 4-yard line. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. So the Broncos headed out for their 2nd drive of the game. And they got off on the wrong foot here with that opening drive interception that led to points the other way.
Yeah, and what this defense has shown is they are going to capitalize on your mistakes, and not just a little, but by a lot. So from here on out, you better play some mistake-free football because this defense is hunting for more.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. And the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Out of the gun, it's Nix. Mims with the ground. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. First run of the game for J.K. Dobbins. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. Quincy Williams making the tackle. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Here we go, 2nd and 9. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. Part of what's earned him status, Brock, is one of the league's better tight ends. Are those hands, right? His dependable hands. So shouts to the defense there because he wasn't able to hang on that time.
Kate, it's one thing for these defenders to separate a receiver from the ball, but to do so on a stud tight end, that's big time.
And that one is dropped. Such great work to get all by himself, but he can't haul in the gimme, and that deep shot is missed. Wow. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And now they're staring at 4th and long. Here comes the Broncos punting unit. Xavier Gipson on to return for the Jets. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. Call that one a 44-yard punt. And it'll be Jets football. Now here comes the New York offense. And the last time they had it, they ran it down the field on him. I'd expect some better resistance up front if they try that again. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start this one out with Hall. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. Dre Greenlaw getting there for the stop. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Now it's Fields. He gets it complete to Josh Reynolds. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
1st and 10 from the 41. Fields to throw it. Escapes the pocket. He tucks it and takes off. We'll have him gain about a handful there. In on the tackle is Jonathan Cooper. And they can go ahead and stay in that huddle. We're at the end of the first quarter. 7-0 is our score. More from MetLife coming. Time for the second quarter of play. It's Jets football. They have 2nd down and 5. From the 47. Finding Reynolds. And he's able to cross midfield before going out.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
Battle coming up on 3rd and inches. Back to throw. Here's Fields. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Got the one-on-one they wanted, Brock, on that slant, but just not enough to get the completion.
Yeah, you got to create separation. We all love the slant route. It could be super effective, but you got to beat press. You got to beat jam. You got to beat off man, and you got to create separation so there's not that bang-bang impact to knock the ball loose like that.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. And that's out. We're just waiting for the spot. They're going to say it cleared the sideline over top the 14. So here comes the Bronco offense. Things sure have started out rough, and they've stayed that way through 2 drives. Maybe drive number 3 here is where we see this offense get rolling. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Quincy Williams making the tackle. Halfway there on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
from the 19. Completed to Sutton. And he'll get it up to the 27. He manages a gain of 8 there. And the Broncos will have a first down.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
Offense set for a 1st and 10. They run the counter with Dobbins. And he gets it forward to still about a yard out of that. That was Sauce Gardner dropping him there. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Nick's looking to throw. Complete. It's Ingram. They get an even 10 on that play. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Straight ahead, here's Dobbins. This is ahead for about 5. It was Andre Cisco who hauled him down there. First down play nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
A humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
They're going play action. He's got it at the 30. It's a gain of 29 yards. And the Broncos will have a first down.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get it to a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
All set up now for 1st and 10. Nick's from the gun. Short pass brought in. And he'll be brought down here at the 23-yard line. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 23. That's knocked away by a defender, incomplete.
You know, as a QB, I'm going to note that in the back of my head. That was a heck of a break. Knocks the ball away. DBs like that, they tend to, once they get one hand on the ball, have a pretty good beat on you and can get 2 hands on it the next time.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. They'll throw again. Nix. And it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or 2, and 3rd downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those.
Will Lutz getting the call on 4th down to put 3 up here for the Broncos. This from 40 on the right hash. Bertolet able to knock it through. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
You'd expect him to make most of those attempts from this distance, but it's never a lock. So they'll happily take this and finish off the drive with points.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. Xavier Gipson now to return. Now bottle him up as he gets the return to the 30. New York taking over once again. The offense heading out. They didn't add to their lead last time out. They punted it away, but still ahead and able to add to it here. First and 10 now from the 30. Hall takes it straight ahead. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Offense to the line for second down. Fields out of the gun. Left side cut by Lazard. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. Give him 13 on that play. And it'll give the Jets a first down.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend? Do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
They'll head up first and 10 from the 42. Shotgun snap to Fields. This is reeled in by Wilson. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. 16 yards on the play. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
They'll head up first and 10 from the 42. Fields throwing here. Completed over the middle. And he'll be brought down at about the 29. It's a gain of 12 there. And it'll give the Jets a first down.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
And they've got themselves another first and 10. From the gun, it's Hall. And he's brought down for a loss.
Hey, range is not an optional feature for middle linebackers in today's game. It's a prerequisite for the job. And this guy definitely has it. Followed that play from the start, and he ended it with a loss.
All right, here we go. Second down. Here's Hall once more. He gets it forward for a gain of 3. John Franklin Myers coming in to clean things up.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Fields on third. On the move, headed right. He's running for it. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for a QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a first down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for first and 10. From the red zone now. Flushed out of the pocket. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
This defense has been trying like mad to do anything to disrupt the rhythm, get the QB off his spot. It's got to be a massive relief to see their efforts paid off on that play.
Everyone's prepped. It's second down now. Trying again following the sack. Intercepted in the end zone. Pat Surtain has it.
Well, that's it right there. That's the resilience and the mental toughness that every coach wants to see from his defense. Not a great spot for him. Backed up close enough that they're going to get shots taken in the end zone. But instead of collapsing under pressure, they rose up and they created the takeaway.
They'll get this drive started. First and 10. Beginning on the ground here with Dobbins. And he's going to be brought down after getting this up to the 22. We'll get a stoppage now. Looks like we have someone banged up after that run in need of some attention. 8 yards to go. Well, let's see how they approach this second down. Now Nix. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down. That play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps this drive moving.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
1st and 10 now from the 30. Shotgun snap to Nix. Quick slant, caught by Sutton. And that's good for a gain of 5. That was Sauce Gardner dropping him there.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Nix. Pass taken in by Sutton. And he goes out, just needed one more step to reach midfield. They get 13 on the pickup, and that'll be good for a Denver first.
It was such a privilege for me to watch Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Darrell Jackson out in Seattle. They showed how great a deep out is as a chain-moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route and then exploiting the leverage as that ball arrives on time downfield.
The rookie from Miami, they're on the stop. So it's the 2-minute warning here from MetLife. The Broncos trying to make some noise before halftime. 2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 48. He's on the move. He's on the move. And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that played good enough for a first. They gain 14 on the play. And the Broncos will have a first down.
When a play breaks down, every once in a while, you've got to be able to make a play with your legs. His offense counts on that ability to evade pressure and occasionally make plays just like that one.
That's complete to Vele. And he's able to take this one down to the 25.
Kate, one thing I learned from the late, great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, and it played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, without routes or in routes just like that.
From the 25 on 2nd down. To his back, J.K. Dobbins. And he gets this down inside the red zone before going out. That's good for 7 yards. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
They'll come up 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. That finds Vele complete. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
Throwing it again here. Oh, no touchdown. It's intercepted. Brandon Stevens has it.
Red zone defense. It is a part of the practice week at least twice, Thursdays, Fridays, even tuning it up on Saturdays, because it's all about protecting in the red zone. And not only protecting points, but taking the ball away. That is a gold star effort by the defense.
The Jets headed out on offense late in this first half. And leading just 7-3, might be better to take a knee and take the lead into the locker room. Just over 30 seconds left in the half as they come to the line. First down throw for Fields. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
Couldn't connect on first. It's 2nd down. Out of the shotgun, Fields. Gets everything he has under this throw. Had the window to go deep, but just couldn't make it happen. Now it's third down.
You know, when we were growing up in the backyard, we call them alligators. 1 alligator, 2 alligator, 3 alligator. He needed another alligator in order to get that ball off. Credit the defense for forcing the incompletion.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have third down here. Hall running between the tackles. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. The defense calls a timeout. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Here comes the punting unit for the Jets. The Broncos have Marvin Mims deep to return. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. And some textbook work covering that punt. It is stopped after almost nothing on the return. It's a 61-yard punt that time. And they'll take over with minimal time remaining in the half. Only 10 seconds remaining here, so 1st and 10 may be our last snap of the half. Looking to throw. Brought in by Vele. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Second and 6 coming up here. Back to throw it. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. That brings us to the break. The Jets with a halftime lead here in East Rutherford. Now we'll send you down the East Coast to our studios in Orlando. Jonathan Coachman and the EA Sports Halftime Report. In the interest of time, we'll bypass the halftime break and resume play with the third quarter. Mevis ready to send this one away. This return starts at the 5. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Broncos and quarterback Bo Nix gearing up for their next series. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Nix off the play action. This is brought in along the sideline. High degree of difficulty for a short gain.
You know, I've learned over the years, defensively, they call that the camera club. How many different guys can you get rallying to the football? So that last shot you see on camera, you see as many defenders keeping that to a 0-yard gain. That's well done defensively.
2nd and 10 now. Finds Mims. And he'll be brought down a step or 2 shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
Move the chains! Got to move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Nix. That's complete to Dobbins. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
Throwing on first down, Nix. He's got the hook up to Ingram. And he'll be brought down at about the 29. Give him 13 on that play. And the Broncos will have a first down.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
They'll come up 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Nix. Short pass brought in. And they get this all the way down to the 16-yard line. They get 13 on the pickup. And that'll be good for a Denver first. Now an inside handoff to Dobbins. And he'll have it down to almost the 10-yard line. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
They send one of the tight ends in motion right. On 2nd down, here's Dobbins. And this is brought to a halt pretty early at about the 8. Give him 3 yards. That's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Throwing now, 3rd and 2. Complete beyond the marker. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Dobbins is in. It's a Denver touchdown. The Broncos take the lead right away in half number 2. J.K. Dobbins with the touchdown. So that, Brock, an important score here as they move out in front.
You know, Kate, this is the time of the game where fatigue starts to set in every once in a while. But that right there was a determined-looking drive. They were not going to be denied and able to score and take the lead.
Will Lutz now on for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Broncos push their lead to 3. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Gibson now to return. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Jets offense now set to take over. And their defense sure has kept this game close. Now it's time for them to come through, get some points for their team in this low-scoring affair. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Fields out of the gun. Taylor makes the catch. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
As a quarterback, when you throw that curl route, you know it's a tight window, Kate. But the minute that DB turns and can't react to the throw, you put it right on your receiver's numbers. He comes back and gets it and moves the sticks.
Running this with Hall. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
You know, Kate, during draft season, I was talking to an NFL GM, and he said, you know what, in time, we're going to realize tackles for loss are just as big a deal as sacks. Sacks get so much of the popularity. Tackles for loss, when you knock that offense backwards, I promise you in time, we'll be keeping a closer eye on plays like that one.
They give on second to Hall. And that hit stops him in his tracks. No gain on the play, and they still need 10 now on third down.
As a corner in this league, well, you can go to the Pro Bowl if you can cover. But you want to be an all-pro, you stick someone like that.
This drive in jeopardy. Here's a 3rd and 10. Shotgun snap to Fields. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. They haven't found it easy to score in this one, Brock, and physicality just like that, a big reason why.
And it usually is, Kate. I love defensive coordinators when they say, hey, it's not just what you see, it's what you hear. And you could hear the physicality of that knocking the ball loose.
Punt team on the field. Fair catch made a little beyond the 20-yard line. The Broncos are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Nix from the gun. Complete to Mims. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31. Options are open here. It's 2nd and inches. A give to Dobbins. And he's swallowed up in the middle. No gain on the run. Will McDonald there on the tackle. It looked like they had it, but nope, no gain. And now they're just inches short for 3rd down.
Well, that run puts them right back in the same old situation for 3rd down. I really thought that run was going to get the couple inches they needed. And you could tell, just look at them down there, Kate. They thought it was going to work too.
Cut by Sutton. And he's out of bounds beyond the 35-yard line. He gets 6 on that play. And the Broncos will have a 1st down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Quick slant, caught by Sutton. And they're going to bring him down just on the other side of midfield. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Running this with Dobbins. And he's able to manage a couple on that run.
If there's ever a play we could call garden variety in the NFL, I think we just saw it right there. That's an uneventful run and a pretty sound stop there defensively.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Running it again with Dobbins. And he breaks even, but that's it. Brought down at that line of scrimmage. Quincy Williams making the tackle. Call it no gain on the play, and that brings up 3rd and 9.
You want to see the term read and react with a little video in the football dictionary? That's it.
So a tough spot now. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, it's Nix. Escapes the pocket. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And they make the stop. We're going to say it about the 37-yard line. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a 1st down.
You know, before the snap, right before the snap, you may have to take off if the read isn't there. That was a great adjustment made at the perfect time for the 1st down.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. On 1st and 10, here's Nix. Pass taken in by Sutton. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and you get a little something coming out of it, too.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Shotgun snap to Nix. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Almost the completion of the wrong team there. And it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up.
I think I could see his eyes from the booth. He was envisioning the return and simply dropped it. You got to secure the pick before anything else.
Now Nix on 3rd down. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And he runs it down inside the 15 before going out. It goes as a gain of 19 yards. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about two things: separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks. That's the trust. And then they got to believe that that separation can create the big play down the field.
They'll run on 1st down with Dobbins. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. Give him 4 that time, so 6 to go on 2nd down.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
Here's Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he gets them a little closer to the end zone, down to the 6. It's a pickup of 3. They're going to need 3 more now on 3rd down. Here's Nix to throw. He completes it in traffic. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Time and again, receivers will tell their quarterbacks, just give me a chance. Just give me a chance. Just throw it up and give me the opportunity. Well, in this case, with even 2 defenders trying to cover that wide receiver, couldn't get it done.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Dobbins has the Denver touchdown. The Broncos lengthen the lead at the end of the 3rd. J.K. Dobbins with the touchdown. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there and put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with 1 end zone trip in a game.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're content, you're not making it to this league. You get 1, you're instantly thinking of another, and the fortunate few are able to actually deliver on it.
Extra point try now from Lutz. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Broncos make it a 10-point ball game. Here's Lutz, set to kick this away. Wangu now to return. Return's looking good so far. Tackle made as the return gets it out to the 32. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Fields finding Reynolds. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. Three-quarters in the books from this one. The Jets have it, but some work to do in the final frame. They're trailing. Great start to the drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just one play. First down throw for Fields. That one's cut along the left sideline. And they take him down right along the 30. Give him 24 on that play. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
That's just a gorgeous corner route by the wide receiver. I bet you'll find, Kate, in the annals of football history, the best corner route runners as receivers are also the best slant runners, the best post runners, because it's all about change of direction, and that was put on display right there.
Shotgun snap, a give to Hall. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back, because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
2nd and 12 behind the sticks. Completed to Reynolds. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
Well, there's a time to be a little finessey with the football, put a little touch on, and then there's time to put your arm into it and let it eat. Throw it right through your target's chest. This one, well, that one right there was the latter. Smart to make a fastball zing in before anyone could undercut the curl route.
They'll run here, it's Hall. And he's brought down for a loss.
They say about great outfielders in baseball, there's just something to them. They've got a knack, a feel, an instinct to take the right line, the right angle. For safeties, to create tackles for loss in the run game, it's the exact same attribute and skill set. Got to take that right angle and then go finish that runner.
Hall gets it again on 2nd down. And a bit of deja vu as they stop him at the line once again.
Well, now things get a little dicey for this offense. One down left before a big decision to make. Do you continue to try running it against a front that stopped you, or are you now forced to put the ball in the air?
So now, here's 3rd and goal. Fields to throw it. Rolling left behind. And he scores! It's a New York touchdown! The Jets make it a 4-point game here in the 4th. It's a Justin Fields touchdown. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist. And you got to be an artist that can create when things break down. And that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
And he connects there, so now another kick from him. A field goal would tie this game in the 4th. Volley set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. On the return, here's Mims. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Denver ready for another offensive possession. And after that touchdown, cut their lead back to 1 score, Brock. A response in order as they take over. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Here's Nix. Completed to Sutton. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
Well, the odds aren't great when you throw into double coverage. Normally you see one of the defenders make a play on the ball. 2 men nearby, and that's a missed opportunity for the coverage to make an impact play.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Complete. It's Ingram. And he goes out. Just needed one more step there to reach midfield.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
Straight ahead, here's Dobbins. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that first down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
Football on that 47-yard line, first down. Nick's looking to throw. Finds Mims. And he's going to be drugged down, looks like at that 37-yard line. Let's see what they want to do here, partner. It's 2nd and inches. It's a give here for Dobbins. And he'll get them enough for a first down.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that 3rd down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
First down, ball at the 36. Now Nix. On target to Dobbins. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And the Broncos will have a first down.
At that down and distance, this group was pretty confident a screen would get them enough yards for the first, and it did. And so long as it keeps working like that, I bet you it'll be a go-to play for them when they need it the next time.
They have themselves another 1st and 10. From the red zone now. This is hauled in by Ingram. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9.
There's no routes on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Throwing here, Nix. Cut near the goal line. And he'll go down shy of the end zone. They mark him at the 4. A gain of 5, Brock, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
Look up contested catch in the football dictionary, and you'll see that. I mean, I can't critique the defense there. They're in the hip pocket of that tight end. But these contested catches, these tight ends that can separate with their hands, utilize their body, even when you're covered, you're not.
And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight ends short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
Now it's 2nd and goal from the 1. Play action with Nix. And he has it in the end zone. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos make it a 9-point advantage. You can't blame him for biting on that play action, Brock. Down at the 1-yard line, you're expecting it to be a run, which made that pass play the perfect call.
Show those defenders what they want to see, what they're expecting to see, so when they give them that good old run fake and pull it back, well, it is touchdown offense.
Extra point try now from Lutz. The point after splits the uprights. And the Broncos make it a 10-point ball game. Here's Lutz set to kick this away. Gibson now to return. And in the end, Brock, an exciting touchback as the return comes out to the 30. The Jets have their offense ready to go again. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you gotta imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3-and-out for this offense right here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building.
1st and 10 now from the 30. Fields out of the gun. Left side cut by Lazard. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that first down.
Well, that one was drawn up and delivered beautifully, efficiently. If it's not circled on the call sheet already, you better believe it is now.
One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. Fields on 1st down. Taylor makes the catch. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
Offense up to the line fast. Shotgun snap to Fields. He's on the move. He'll step up, and there he goes. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
You know, that's one of those little mental Rolodex plays. Right before the snap, you know if the read isn't there, that option isn't there, you can use your legs to make the adjustment and go get the first down.
Working quickly here. On 1st and 10, it's Fields. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. And that throw intended for Malachi Corley. So that brings up 2nd down.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Fields finds his target, Hall. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
That's the defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
Offense in the hurry up here. Fields now on 3rd. He's got it near the 10. And they get this down to the 10-yard line before going down. It goes as a gain of 19 yards. And it'll give the Jets a first down.
Well, that's a game that has its roots in preparation during the week. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday kind of stuff. Identifying ways to target the coverage and creating opportunities for big completions.
And in, touchdown, New York! All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
And now for the point after, and crucially to bring things within a field goal. And he connects there, so now another kick from him. A field goal will tie this game in the 4th. Volley set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. On the return, here's Mims. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Broncos headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And he'll be happy to keep letting it fly as much as he has all game. Look at these numbers. They show just how effective he's been in captaining this offense. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. He'll start on the ground with Dobbins. He breaks the tackle, and he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down. Give him 4 yards as we have hit our 2-minute warning. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Again, they'll run with Dobbins. And they'll bring him down after a pretty short gain. So quickly the defense burns a timeout here. 1:57 remaining in the game. Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. He's back to throw. Outright, and Ingram makes the grab. And he's brought down after a short gain. And right away we get a timeout from the defense. 1:51 to go. Punting unit out now. And this is the 2nd time he's been brought on to kick it. And the sunlight's not a problem for him. He looks up and makes the fair catch. So no return on that punt. And they'll get ready to go on offense. They've got 1st down from the 31. Setting up to pass. Corley reels it in. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. He finds 37 yards on the play to move those chains.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They pick up 20 yards there, and it's good enough for a New York 1st down.
As much as you'd like to find a completion and get the ball out of your hands, when a play breaks down, you got to be able to make a play with your legs. His offense counts on his ability to evade pressure and occasionally make plays just like that. You know, I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or just had a surprise break in concentration. So unusual to see one dropped unless there's a hit involved.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. He'll look to throw it. And he sails that one over the end zone. That throw doesn't lead to 6. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Looking to throw it. Chased out to his right. He's running for it. He gets a little something out of it before sliding to a stop.
I love that play. I mean, that's quarterback 101. Nothing downfield, get what you can with your legs, but so much more importantly, protect yourself. Availability, one of the most important abilities for any quarterback.
Big moment for Harrison Mevis here. We have a timeout called by the Broncos. That's their 1st. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. So here's Harrison Mevis, ready for the field goal try. This only a chip shot from the right hash. Looking good, and it's through! And in the final moments, they force overtime!
Overtime rested on his leg, Kate, and he got the job done. And now, well, if things go a specific way in OT, the next time we see him line up, it could be for the game winner.
Mevis ready to send this one away. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback. This drive starting from the 30. They're out and set. 1st and 10. Here he is to throw. That's complete to Dobbins. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. Man, this has been such a great game. Nobody is ready for it to end just yet. After 4 quarters, we're headed to overtime. Now hopefully this conclusion will be just as exciting as our opening 4 quarters. The kick is away here in overtime. Gibson now to return. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The Jets out to begin another drive. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. First throw of overtime now. He'll get this complete to Lazard. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down. New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. 1st down throw for Fields. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
From the gun, it's Hall. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
Pretty obvious, this defense, man, they need more people around the line of scrimmage. But the minute you do that, Kate, you start opening up those throwing lanes. This is how balance takes apart a defense.
Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. Out of the shotgun, Fields. That one's incomplete over the middle. Looking for his wide receiver there. And it's going to be 2nd down.
That just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted, even on some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Play action, Fields. Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground. Garrett Wilson, the intended receiver. So they're left facing 3rd and long.
You know, that was a play, Kate, right there where you need to buy your receivers just enough time to get open along their routes, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit him with the throw. Time, well, that's not what he had. O-line couldn't hold up, and it forces the incompletion.
And he let his man too much there, Brock. Incomplete. 4th down coming up.
That's a throw that's got to go somewhere else. Double coverage waiting for it. They were thinking interception for a second, and incompletion is still pretty good, too.
On now comes their punter. And in overtime, he needs to make this a good one. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. And this one gets out of bounds. It was pushing some distance towards the goal line, but gets out at the 5. The Broncos offense all set to go. Their defense got off the field clean, Brock, and now their offense runs on knowing that any points are going to end this game.
Well, you want to look up complimentary football in the football dictionary, this might be the most important time for it. One side of the ball makes a stand, and the other side gets a chance to go win it.
Now he gets a shot here in overtime. Finds Mims. And he hauls this one up to the 11 before being stopped.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
2nd and 3 now. Shotgun snap to Nix. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Nix from the gun. Into traffic, complete. And he's taken down here at the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 4. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason. This is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
Nix with it on first. Hits him on the out route. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
I can't tell you how nice it is to have a big, trustworthy tight end in the passing game. Such great size to have, and he forces those defenses to find a way to try to match up when they can't.
They've got 1st down from the 31. They'll throw again. Nix. Throwing the out route complete. And he's going to get this up close to the 40 before going out.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on 1st down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
2nd and 3 now. Out of the gun, it's Nix. Has him on the quick hitter. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at them. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. Shotgun handoff for Dobbins. And they'll surrender just a lone yard. That brings up 2nd down.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on 1st down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Throwing now from the gun. Escapes the pocket. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
This guy, Kate, he can create. He really is good out there. He's skilled when it comes to getting outside the pocket, which makes it all the more impressive. They contained him so well when he was clearly looking to generate something with his legs.
Wonder what's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. Here's Nix to throw. Brought in by Vele. And the defense waiting for him at the line, and he goes down.
That's how you draw it up defensively. That's exactly what you want the coverage to do. Force that quarterback to throw it short and get off the field.
They'll send out the punting unit. And in overtime, this has to be struck well. Ooh, it's away, but he knows he mishit that one. Headed for the sideline. No return on this one. It's going to make it out of bounds and across the 25, spotted at the 24. Their offense running back out now. Each offense has had a chance to score now, Brock. Neither one could, so we're in a sudden death. The next score wins it.
And wouldn't it be great, Kate, if we saw one of these defenses just take a turnover back for the winning touchdown? Really just surprise everybody here.
Love
that. It'll be a little tougher to do now, though. Both offenses a little more settled in, and you've got to imagine a little more sense of urgency.
It is caught left side. And he'll go down after fighting his way into the 32.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the 32. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
I think that was a throw, Kate, that just came a little bit too late. What it did is it gave that defense time to come up and deliver a pop and knock the ball loose before he could secure it fully.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Fields out of the gun. Complete beyond the marker. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On 3rd down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Another throw for Fields. That's complete to Wilson. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40. That play good for 17 and a 1st down.
That can be a hopeless feeling when you fire a curl route right into zone coverage perfectly like that. Unless that curl happens to be right next to where one of your guys is sitting, that pass can hum in there and there's nothing this defense can do.
Hall takes it straight ahead. And with a nice gain, he runs him down inside of field goal range. Give him 9 yards. He almost moved the chains there. It's going to be 2nd and 1.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Here's Hall once more. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
3rd and 4 coming up now. They go right back to Hall. And we just saw this movie. They stopped him again at the line.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard running backs say there's just times you got to run in the darkness. And when linebackers fill that hole like that right in the middle of the field, he ran right into the darkness and the pain of that linebacker.
And the kick team comes on. A chance to win it here in overtime. Denver calls the 2nd of its 3 timeouts. And that'll leave them with just 1 remaining in overtime. Big moment for Harrison Mevis here. He was good on his first kick. Gonna need to hit this one well to go 2 for 2. It has the distance, and it's on target. It's good! And they've taken back the lead.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all this concentration, every bit of the strength, to send that puppy through.
So the win goes to the Jets. And they only needed a field goal to end it, as their guy connected on an absolute bomb through all the pressure to claim a heck of a win here in overtime.
So for Brock Eward, our incredible crew, everybody here at EA Sports, I'm Kate Scott signing off. We'll see you next time.
It's a well-earned win for the Jets as we say so long from New York.